Welcome to the Game Plan Online. My name is Nick Dillon, and our guest today is first year Renmark coach Matt Martinson. Welcome, Matty.
Thanks, Nick.
Things are going okay at the moment. Sitting one and two, but obviously the weekend's result wouldn't have been, obviously not the result you wanted.
No, things have been going along reasonably well. Weekend's result obviously is not the way we wanted things to end up.
Yeah.
As I've said, we went in at half time where we sort of were hoping to be in the game. One goal down, but the third quarter really sort of cost us pretty much the win there. Apart from the other two games, Barmer's game was really good. We were really happy with the way things sort of moved on from there. And the Wakery game, we had good signs there, which was pleasing. So apart from the weekend, things have been sort of pretty positive around the club.
Yeah. And how have you fitted into the role? Obviously 3 games in now and got a real feel for being that head honcho at the club?
No, I'm really enjoying it. I enjoy coaching anyway from dot one. Enjoyed doing the B grade and just love coaching basically.
Yeah.
I fit in. It's been pretty good. I think the club's going along, like I said, pretty well. There's a few positive vibes around there.
Mm-hmm. B
grade are winning still. Under 18s had a really good win on the weekend.
Yeah. And
the 15s and 13s are travelling along pretty nicely as well. So overall the club's in a pretty good spot, I think.
Yeah. Big game against Berri this week and hoping to get a few players back. Who can we expect to come back into the side?
We'll definitely get Kinnear and Rowe back in. They'll come straight back in, which is pleasing. Both pretty big positives for the club, pretty big pluses for our team. Rowe adds some defensive sort of forward pressure and he's a really good midfielder, and Kinnear's our lead-up target, and we really did miss that on the weekend. Not having him there as our target, which was disappointing, but he'll come. Those two will both come back in. Thorpe should get through training.
What's he done?
He's got a bit of a corky, and he just had it sort of cramped up on him in that Barmer game in that first quarter, and we just sort of took precautionary measures and just brought him off. And we've had to do that with a couple of players already this year where they've sort of felt that they could go on, but we needed to hold them back just with the injury situation we've had. So Thorpe's got to get through training this week. He trained last Thursday reasonably well, but just pulled up a bit sore on Friday. So if we can get him through training this week, he'll come back in. Tim Blight should play. I spoke to him last night. His calf's travelling along all right, so we'll just test him during the week and hopefully he gets up as well. So there's four senior players to come back into the side, which is a pretty massive plus for us.
And especially the two big forwards, I imagine. Some big targets up there to kick to.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of kids. Again, we had played a lot of kids on the weekend. I think out of our 21, 18 are under 22 years old. So the club in terms of juniors is looking really good. Man, we're going to have ups and downs, as you probably know. When you play kids one week, everything's going along nicely, and then the next week it's a bit harder. So there's going to be an up and down year for some of those guys. And just on the weekend, we just didn't have the key forwards to sort of kick to. We sort of were winning the ball through the middle in the first half, which was really pleasing, and our backs were holding up really well again. But then I think we just lost our way in the third quarter, and we just failed to shut down the game, and not having key targets to kick to as you come out of defence can be hard. So.
And were you pretty impressed with Loxton North, the way they went about it?
Yeah, look, they were good. Once they got their run going, they were really impressive. I think that's pretty stock standard for them, how they played under Craig Wooldridge as well. Like I said, we sort of played. I thought we were pretty happy in the first half. We sort of tackled, really had a high tackle count, which is sort of what we base things around. And we know that if we have a high tackle count, then we're generally involved in the game and we're up and about. And like I said, at half time that count was high, and we felt that if we continued that, we could hang in there and try and snag a win. But obviously, when that tackle count fell away, they got their run going. We just failed to shut their runners down, which was a bit disappointing. But once they got up and about and they get positive vibes going on, it doesn't matter if you haven't won a game. I don't think once you get up and about and things just start to fall your way and you tend to work harder, and they were running to space a lot easier. So yeah, they're impressive. I think they're going to be around the mark. I mean, it's a slow start, but it's always a long year.
Early days.
Yeah.
Now, so we'll get into this week's games, and we'll start with your game. Berri v Renmark down there at league headquarters. I imagine you wouldn't have seen Berri at all. So, how are you what sort of plans are you taking into this weekend to counter them?
Yeah, I've had a bit of a look. Generally, I have a look on Sunday anyway, straight away to see who we play next. Sort of got to move on pretty quick. And I think we match up reasonably well against Berri. So we'll have a couple of key matchups that we'll sort of look at. But generally, I think right across the board, I think we match up reasonably well against them. It'd be we're very keen to have a crack, I think, after the weekend's game. Sort of pretty much straight after the game, we spoke about it quickly and then just said we'd move on now. And the beauty of football is that you got 7 days and you go again. So that's the challenge for the boys this week, is they'll have that break 7 days, have a bit of a think about it, but now we've got to hit Berri pretty hard. I think if we play our style of play, I think we can take it up to them.
For sure. And obviously Berri fell short against Wakery on the weekend. Would have been pretty disappointed with that, but yeah, I imagine they'd be wanting to bounce back this week. I'm going to tip Berri. And the next game is Loxton and Wakery. You've seen Wakery firsthand. What are your thoughts on this one, Matt?
I think Wakery will probably win. Shane's a very astute coach. I think he's probably got the boys in the right spot at the right time at the moment. I'm not sure their injuries, of how they're looking in terms of injuries, but I know Loxton have got a couple.
Yeah.
I think Loxton may probably struggle with the depth to pull up to cover those losses if they do have a few injuries. I don't know if their B grade numbers are too strong. I'm not sure what's going on there. But I'd have to say Wakery will probably win that one pretty comfortably, I reckon. Agreed.
I think Wakery as well. And the final game is Barmah Monash and Loxton North. And Barmah, they picked up those midfielders late in the piece and are travelling all right. And North are obviously going well now as well. So, and you've seen both these teams.
Is it at North or Barmah?
It's at Barmah.
Okay. Yeah, look, I reckon it'll be closer than probably what a lot more people think. Barmah are a reasonable side. I mean, when we played them, they didn't have Langcake or O'Grady. And I imagine O'Grady's probably a pretty big in for those blokes as a senior player and what he can bring to the team. I think they probably will take it up to North. It'll be whether or not North can expose some run and get out into space. I don't think North like the in-close sort of pressure football. Like I said, once they get out in space and they can get the run going, they're a fantastic side. But if Barmah can sort of bottle the ball up and try and create a few stoppages and get their bigger body midfielders involved, they could put it up to them. But I'd still say North probably I reckon.
Looks North for me as well. Now we'll quickly run through the independent games, round 3 of the independents. The first one is Paringa and Lirrup. Lirrup coming off a draw with Sedan, Canberra last week. A bit of a low-scoring dour affair, and Paringa were less than impressive against Cobby. Hopefully my boys can win. I don't know what your thoughts are, Matty.
No, I'll say Paringa, mate. Yep. I think Lirrup just lost too many players over the off-season. I know they recruited a few, but I would think that you guys should probably get up there, I reckon.
Yep, fingers crossed. Sedan, Canberra and Wonka, I think the Magpies should get up over Wonka there.
Yeah, from reading what's in the paper, I know they had a bit of a bad start Sedan in the first game, but last week they seemed to pick up a little bit. It's a bit interesting. It's a hard one to sort of pick because you just don't know how they're going to front up week in, week out until they've got through every team. I think we won't know where they're going to sit for the year, but I'd say Sedan will probably win that one.
Yep, Brownsville and BSR are obviously struggling at the minute, but put in a much improved effort against Ramco last week, and Brownsville, well, they're just tearing teams apart at the moment, so I think the Bombers there. Yeah,
I think Brownsville will probably win that one pretty easy.
Yep, and the last game, Ramco and Cobb Douglas, it's a night game on the Saturday night down at Wakery, which is a great initiative by the Ramco Footy Club to play that. Having seen Cobby last week, they were impressive in patches, but they're going to be pretty hard pressed to beat Ramco, I think.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think Ramco will be up and about, playing a home game at Wakery under lights, probably sort of get a bit of a crowd there as well. So yeah, I'd say Ramco on that one.
Yeah, excellent. Well, thanks for coming on, Matty. We really appreciate it. Good luck for this weekend against the Demons, and that's it from us. And just make sure you grab your copy of the game plan at the gate on the weekend. See you next week.
Kickstart the golden generate hub. Sweet talk, but don't intimidate hub. Can't stop